Welcome to Kingdom's Entertainment Podcast. I'm Dre the Ronin. Streaming TV services such as Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, and Amazon Prime have soared in popularity, especially this year with the ongoing pandemic, coupled with social distancing and government mandated crowded locations such as movie theaters shutting down. Here are some binge worthy TV shows that I enjoyed watching this year, and maybe you may find entertaining as well. Let's start with Netflix. On Netflix, Schitt's Creek is a hilarious, multi Emmy award winning comedic TV show about a wealthy New York based family whose life is turned upside down when the government seizes all of their financial assets, all except for a small town that the patriarch, portrayed by Eugene Levy, bought for his on screen and real life son Dan Levy as a prank, the town being Schitt's Creek. Every episode features massive adjustments that this aristocratic family endures while attempting to assimilate to the quaint local townsfolk. This show also features Catherine O'Hara as the matriarch of the family and Emmy Award winner Annie Murphy as their daughter. And to be honest, the hotel concierge Stevie is basically me in every episode. So, Schitt's Creek has 6 seasons with about 13 to 14 episodes per season. The next binge worthy TV show that I enjoyed during this pandemic is Kim's Convenience. This charming TV show about first generation Korean immigrants who establish a convenience store in Ontario, Canada, I think is Ontario, Canada, while dealing with their 20 something year old son and daughter who were born and raised in the Western world. Asian culture is very prevalent and hilarious in each episode, along with a likable ensemble cast, make this an enjoyable binge. Just watch out for the sneak attack. Kim's Convenience has 4 seasons with about 10 to 12 episodes per season. Next is Cobra Kai. Now, this continues the journey of the 1980s smash hit movie, The Karate Kid. And nope, I am not talking about Danny LaRusso, but Johnny Lawrence. And it follows his attempt to reestablish his life after trying to sweep the leg. I found out that this show put a really interesting spin about perception and points of view from the characters, and it gets even more complicated when their respective teenage kids get involved. Cobra Kai has 2 seasons with 10 episodes per season, and season 3 is coming soon, and I cannot wait for that. Next is Dead to Me. It's an edge of your seat dark comedy featuring the wonderful duo of Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini. Applegate is recently widowed, and Cardellini is a new friend that she meets at a group therapy session for recently lost loved ones, and the two quickly become BFFs. But we come to find out that Cardellini has a very shady past. I enjoyed watching every single episode. It was absolutely edge of your seat. Cannot wait for season 3. Dead to Me has 2 seasons so far with 10 episodes per season. The Witcher. Henry Cavill brings this video game character to life, but is definitely not for kids. It's set in a fantasy world of monsters and witches, and Henry Cavill is a lone bounty hunter that kills monsters, but is despised by humans who pretty much hire him to do the task. And he is haunted by his past and finds out about his fate. There is constant swearing, gratuitous violence, and a lot of sexual situations, and it's constant in every episode pretty much. It does start off a bit slow, but once I reached about episode 3, I really began to enjoy it, and I cannot wait for season 2. So far, season 1 has 8 episodes. Next on the list is The Blacklist, which stars James Spader and Megan Boone in this suspenseful drama wherein the cunning tactics of a criminal mastermind cooperates with the FBI to bring down their most wanted and sometimes even takes down criminals the FBI didn't know existed. So I guess we now know what Robert California started doing after he left Dunder Mifflin. The Blacklist has 7 seasons with 22 episodes per season that are about 45 minutes each. The next binge worthy TV show that I enjoyed was Designated Survivor. This stars Kiefer Sutherland as the reluctant, unprepared, and unwanted President of the United States after every single politician was murdered in an explosion during one of their meetings. Half of the time, this designated president has to deal with unrelenting political strife, while the other half of the show follows FBI agent Maggie Q on the trail of who was behind the heinous bombing. I found myself watching episodes until 3 a.m. because I could not wait to see what would happen in the very next episode. Designated Survivor has 3 seasons, the first two being 22 episodes and 45 minutes each. And the final season, which I particularly didn't like, was produced by Netflix and only had 10 episodes. Over to Disney Plus, The Mandalorian, more commonly known as the Baby Yoda Show, just recently ended season 2. And to be honest, when I first heard about this show and it was going to be exclusively on Disney Plus, I was not interested in watching it at all. I did not want to follow the adventures of a bounty hunter. I was not interested in Boba Fett. He was the only Mandalorian that I knew about. And boy, was I wrong. I was absolutely wrong. Jon Favreau created this fantastic show, and executive producer Dave Filoni, who was responsible for the successful Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels animated TV shows, really did an excellent job of making 2 fantastic seasons so far. The storytelling, the action sequences, the tie ins with the animated series, and characters being brought to live action. And of course, Baby Yoda, the adorable baby. If you haven't seen a Baby Yoda meme, you're living under a rock. So this was very enjoyable. There are 2 seasons so far. The season 2 finale, which happened a couple of weeks ago, is currently rated 9.9 out of 10 on IMDb with almost 40,000 votes and is one of the highest rated episodes ever. This show has no doubt brought thousands of Star Wars fans, such as myself, back to being excited again about this Star Wars franchise and what's to come in the future. The Mandalorian has 2 seasons with only 8 episodes each. And each episode spans between 29 to 45 minutes, depending on the episode. Next, we are going to talk about the Hulu channel. Hulu, what I really enjoyed binge watching was What We Do in the Shadows. If you're a fan of mockumentary style TV shows with sidebars such as The Office or Parks and Rec, you will absolutely love What We Do in the Shadows. This is based off of Taika Waititi's movie with a similar title. Now, Taika Waititi also directed such movies like Marvel's Thor Ragnarok, which to me was one of the best in the franchise, and Jojo Rabbit. This hilarious comedy follows 3 medieval vampires dealing with modern day New York. What We Do in the Shadows has 2 seasons with 10 episodes each season. Next is one of my favorites, Rick and Morty. Now, I don't watch cartoons anymore, but Rick and Morty is the lone exception. Rick is the drunk super genius who takes his idiot grandson Morty to adventures that are simply no holds barred in regards to limits. The unpredictability of each episode keeps me wanting to see more and more episodes. Pickle Rick! Rick and Morty so far has 4 seasons with 10 episodes each season and is actually also currently available on HBO Max. The next and last TV show that I'll be discussing is Community. This is an easygoing TV show that centers on 7 community college students of varying backgrounds, from a lawyer who lied about his college degree to a single mother and aspiring business owner just trying to obtain their college degrees so that they can go on with the rest of their lives. This show was created by Dan Harmon, who was also responsible for creating my other favorite TV show, Rick and Morty. And a lot of the early episodes and seasons of Community were written, executive produced, or directed by the Russo brothers, who are most famously known for directing Marvel blockbuster movies such as Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and the number one movie of all time, Avengers Endgame. I usually have Community running in the background when I'm doing stuff like cooking. I've probably watched Community 5 seasons, 5 times over. Community has 6 seasons and a movie with 20 plus episodes early on, then dropping to 12 episodes in the final 2 seasons of its run. So there you have it. Those are the shows that I binge watched during this pandemic and enjoyed. There were some other shows that I did binge watch, but I want to keep positive. I want to give positive vibes out there. And I enjoyed these TV shows, and I hope you will as well. Thank you for listening to my podcast. This is Dre the Ronin signing off.